Quote the immortal Rodney Dangerfield. It ain't easy being me. One time, my wife Karen and I went to the gym and decided we're going to go swimming. We went to the locker room to change into our swimsuits. Of course, different locker rooms. She went to the women's, I went to the men's locker room. And we both come out of the locker room on the other side into the pool, and Karen turns red. She's just like red. She puts her hand up to like a good face palm, and she's there. Jeff, you didn't put your swimsuit on. So this was a symptom for getting to do that, of attention deficit disorder. Now, my wife says for me it's attention deficit disorder, but for her it's OCD. I like that. And we've seen children bouncing around the room with ADHD, and I did that. My parents used to say, don't worry, he'll grow out of it. And you know something? Out my ADHD. Yeah, I did stop bouncing all over my place, all itself, but it reared itself in other ways. For instance, I could never ever stand taking classes since I hated listening to the instructors interminably drone on how some and body blah blah blah. So I just became the class clown. I would constantly heckle the teachers. It was to the point where I actually was encouraged by the teachers to cut class. Well, they still made me turn my work in, but hey, I could hang out in the lunchroom all day studying on my own. And I only showed up for class when we had a test. So this got me through high school, but then when I graduated and went to college, I was a total failure. I couldn't sit down long enough to study anything. I self-medicated with weed and booze. My motto was, let's party first and then study. So after my sophomore year, I figured, this is too boring. I'm going to take a little break. So I took a semester break. Well, the semester turned into a year, then it turned into 5 years, then it turned into 10 years, and make a long story short, in the long run, it was 30 years. And by that time, there was the internet, and you had online learning. So I was in my late 40s, and I went back to complete my degree online. It was perfect for me. Asynchronous format made it so I could just go study in little chunks. I could do my work for a half hour and then play with my kitty cat and grab a soft drink. As a middle-ager, I was also a lot less drawn to the party scene. I had assignments to complete every week, discussion groups to discuss the assignments, and I was wild with joy not having to listen to the instructors blab on. Online education was my solution. And then, one fine fall evening, I had a heart attack. And I had to have 2 surgeries on my heart within a 48-hour period. They were minor stuff. One of them they were stent type of surgeries. But there's really no such thing as minor heart surgery. But where was my concern? My concern is that I would have to take a leave of absence to recuperate. I don't want to happen to me where I was taking another 30 years off. And I remembered, wait, I have ADHD. I can't focus anyway. So what I did, I was able to work in 15-minute sprints and then rest until I had the energy to go at it again. And my cat Pharaoh was hanging out with me the whole time. Wash, rinse, repeat, feed Pharaoh. And I turned in everything on time and I got an A in the class. That was an aha moment for me. I found that there are ways to be highly effective despite a natural lack of focus. In the years since then, I adopted and developed systems that allow one to leverage their lack of focus, and I'm teaching that to others. Now, I could have looked at that difficulty as a curse, but instead I looked at it as a gift. It was a blessing. Had I not had that own lack of focus from my own ADHD to energize myself, I wouldn't have found that stuff. So every condition can be either a blessing or a curse. Now, excuse me please, I just saw a squirrel.